Hello, my name is Akonde Jacob Ozovere and I'm a technical consulting engineer for Cisco Tech Server Virtualization team. In this video, I'll describe how to configure regular LDAP on UCS-C Series servers. For this demonstration, this is the setup. One UCS C220 M5SX and one Windows Server 2016. Two users are configured as test user 1 and test user 2 to manage a UCS-C Series server via its CIMC interface. Both users are created on Windows Active Directory environment and they use LDAP services to authenticate, which grants them access to the UCS-C server. The configuration is done on both the Windows server side and the UCS server side. Microsoft Active Directory and LDAP services have been pre-configured and are operational. Therefore, this demo will focus on setting up the UCS server side. For this, access the CIMC interface of the UCS-C Series server, then click on the navigation icon located in the top left corner. Navigate to Admin and choose User Management. On the User Management page, select LDAP. Check the Enable LDAP checkbox. For the base DN in this lab, video test.local, written as dc equals video test, dc equals local is used. The base DN serves as the starting point of the LDAP server search for user authentication in the Active Directory, often denoting the domain name in the specified syntax. Add your domain name in the domain field. For now, the Enable Secure LDAP checkbox can be ignored. The timeout field represents the duration for which the UCS-C server waits for a response from the LDAP server before labeling it as down. You need to set this to an arbitrary value of 60 seconds. In the Configure LDAP Server section, leave the pre-configured LDAP Server radio button checked. In the specified field, impute the IP address of the previously configured Windows LDAP server and port number 389 for LDAP services. For this lab, do not check the Use DNS to configure LDAP servers option. In the Binding Parameters section, choosing an anonymous method allows users to access the UCS server with null credentials. The default selected method is login credentials, requiring individual user credentials for binding between the LDAP server and the UCS server. For this lab, I have used configured credentials method. This requires a known set of credentials, for example, the admin credentials, to be specified for the initial binding process. If this initial binding process succeeds, then the distinguished name of the username is queried and reused for the rebinding process. If the rebinding process fails, then the user is denied access. The binding DN credentials can be any user created in Active Directory, but in this lab, it is the administrator after the syntax. cn equals administrator, cn equals users, dc equals video test, dc equals local without spaces. Within the Group Authentication section, enable the LDAP Group Authentication checkbox, permitting configuration of all IT group members in Active Directory to authenticate and access the UCS-C server using LDAP authentication. Select the one checkbox, then click Configure, and proceed to provide the required details in the ensuing pop-up window. Enter the group name, for example, IT. Impute the Active Directory domain of the group, for example, videotest.local, and choose the desired role for the UCS-C system user. In this scenario, read-only permissions are assigned to LDAP users. Click on Save Changes. Search parameter and LDAP CA certificate status are not considered in this lab, therefore click on Save Changes on the overall LDAP configuration page. To verify that the configuration is correct, attempt to log into the UCS server using one of the configured LDAP user accounts. Test user 2 login is successful. Thanks for watching.